Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Bill Sheehy. I'm the broker manager for Monmouth Junction. Hope everyone's having a good morning. Today, we're going to talk about the application that's provided to us through our NAR membership, Realtors Property Resource, or RPR, as a lot of us refer to it. The application caters for both commercial on a very limited extent and residential, which is very detailed, which we'll go over today. The best thing to do to get started is you want to make sure you have clicked here, residential. Let me move this here. Okay, so you want to make sure you're on the residential. And before you get started by typing in your target property, let's just go over some of the basics on the first screen here. You always want to go to your profile, and you want to make sure that all your profile information is included in the application: address, title, what MLSs you're with, your email addresses, because this information is going to pull to whatever reports you're going to send out to your clients. So that would be step one. And then on the side here, where it says My Markets, you can specify 3 markets where you can just kind of monitor the activity for those markets. The end of each day, these are updated. So you know, like in Moorestown, there's 7 leases. There's a price change on none. So you can add or subtract the properties, and it only does 3. So you got to keep it just short like that. So now we're just going to get into the property and start the application. So once you have the open up here, you're going to type in the property that you're going to be searching. If this is for a listing or for a buyer, you just type in the address. We're going to use my home in North Brunswick, and it's going to populate based on all of the public information. Remember, it's going to be public information. So you get a nice picture. It talks about the close price when I bought the house back in '88, square footage, the lot square footage. RPR, this is the realtor's valuation method. This uses all the algorithms that are out there that the system subscribes to. You can view exactly how they do it. Give you all the details right here. These are the properties that are included in that evaluation. So it's pretty detailed there. It gives you a price range for the RVM. It gives you a high confidence factor. You also see some of the basic facts about the property, the type, when it was built, the owners, my wife and I, so forth. And then for the pricing tools, again, this is based off of just algorithms and how the system works, because we're going to be refining some of the CMA value in the next couple slides. So we close at 206. The market value for comps is going to be 725. This is the system doing it, not us selecting comps that we like to use. The refined value, which is going to pop up in a number of cases, the refined value is taking the CMA value and making any adjustments for the market conditions, for improvements that were made to the property, and so forth. And then you can estimate the equity when you get down to creating the report. And you can do a seller's net value sheet, which is, we all know, the money that comes in from the sale minus all the seller's costs. You can include that in your property as well. Now, you can see property facts here. This is pulling from public records, as you can see here. There's a column that says your changes. You don't want to touch these numbers here. We're going to touch these numbers when we do the CMA. So it's very important to leave this column the way it is. Even though we have 5 bedrooms, it says 0. We're going to fix that later on down the road. And then we're always going to save everything. They also provide you with additional resources if you want to use those, as well as the RPR system. You can see your exterior facts, your legal description. It's going to rate the schools for you, property owner facts, and then public records. So this is kind of like a snapshot of the picture of the property. Now for the map location, this is just your standard grid. It shows the target property here. It's going to give you all the owners that surround the property and what their value is as well, to give you an idea of how your target property is comparing to the other ones on the street. Now you can change this format. You can look at different levels if you like. You can do a view, if you want a road view, if you want a terrain view, if you want aerial, you can change it. And if you want to do sideways. So it gives you a different look. Most of the time, you'll be sticking with just this look here if you use this part of the application. You can also do different, you can look for schools. The schools will pop up, just got to designate what you're looking for, and the schools will pop up on the map as well. And then this is that part here. So this would just give you an idea of how your house stands with the other houses in the neighborhood. When we go to market trends, this is where you're going to be able, this is where the system is telling us where the market is right now. We're still not touching any of the data. This is just public data derived from the application. So they're telling us that it's slightly a seller's market in North Brunswick. These are days on market. Now, this number here, day, is the key details. This is based off of the end of the prior month. So these numbers are going to be as of the end of July 2026. So in July 26, we had an inventory of 4.9, and we were selling above the list price. Our days on market for median was 59. Again, this is all system generated. If you want to go into the National Association of Realtor stats, you can view the stats here. It'll take you outside this program and pull you right into the National Association of Realtors database. Now, for the target, we did North Brunswick. The median price for list price is $729. At the end of July, we had 49 properties for sale, and the median days was 43, square footage, cost, and then a total value. So it gives you a chart on how the trends are. So in North Brunswick, you can take this chart 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. It also looks at the sold listings. Month of July, we had 14 sold. We sold above list price, days on market, and so forth. Again, it gives you an idea that when you're speaking to your sellers, you can explain the market trends and so forth. And then public records and some other key data there as well. But this will just give you an idea on where the market is for the target community. Now, for the refined value, get my notes. Okay. Well, let me go back to the market trends. A few months ago, RPR created another part of this application called AI Scriptwriter. If we go into the AI Scriptwriter, again, remember, we're looking at the town of North Brunswick. We could then choose for this, choose a professional format. We can drop down, we want buyers, first-time homeowners, sellers. This is what we're going to target. It gives you opportunities to create different reports that you can send out through social media. Let's say we want to do a social media card. We click on the card. We create the social media card. We just confirm all the facts. And you get a picture just like this. They'll tell you that as of the end of July, here's the number here, was selling above list price, 59 was the days, and the value. Now you can take this, can't get rid of this here, and then you can share it with the caption. It takes a second to create. You click through it, and it'll bring it to the, now we're going to go here, download it. Okay. Sorry, I'm the only one in the office today. And you can save it to your media. And then once you get to your media file, very straightforward, you can then post it. You download it, you can post it, open. So you have all these different options. We can put it right into Instagram, Facebook. You can get a copy for an email and attach it to an email. So it's very helpful. I would suggest when you get to this point, just go through each one. Let's just take one. We do a client email. So we have a client email, generate the content. Again, it's all step by step. And then it gives you an overview of the North Brunswick marketplace as of the end of July. Market overview, supply, listings, pending and sold, dynamics, and it gives you your signatures down here. And then you can take this letter, you can copy it to a text, share it in an email, export it to a PDF, or you can export it to Word and make any type of changes you want to it. So again, this is a kind of a quick and easy way to, when you have North Brunswick as your community, you get an email, it's already typed up, you attach it and you send it out. But I would suggest kind of playing with these other buttons here, because it is a valuable tool if you like posting things to social media, or if you want to share certain things with your clients. Again, always practice with this stuff. It's better you see the market trends here, you get a summary, and you can just post this as you wish. So this is something new that they added at the beginning of 2026. So now we're going to go into refined values. So this is where we're going to make our changes. Okay. So right now, the original estimate was 704. We made some changes at 27,000, which we'll go over, and it gives us a new number. All right. So here, what you're going to do, again, you're going to hold off on you're not going to touch these yet. You're going to touch those on the CMA. For your refined value, you're going to type in that you made a major kitchen addition in February. This was a cost, and per the system, it added another $11,000 of value to your property. We remodeled our bathroom back in May. This is what it cost us. This is the refined value. So, and then you just keep on adding different improvements to the property. So this gave us an addition of $27,000 to our refined value. Now you can also, in this section here, you can just change how the market is. If you think the market is slow, you change it this way. If you think your interior compared to others is better, you do superior. And that's going to give you a change also down here. Every time you move one of these bars, it's going to give you a change to the market value. And that's going to add up. So with all these changes we did with the additions and changing the market conditions and our property comparison, we added another $25,000 of refined value. So the estimate now is 730. Again, we haven't looked at comps yet. This is just based off the system generated. Okay, so this is just one number we have, right? Now we're going to go to the next slide. This is the CMA. This is where it gets interesting. You get a summary of the property right here, and you can start building your CMA. So you can build it here, which is you click this button, and it's going to use estimated comps. If you're an appraiser, you always want to use this one here because it goes into more details. So you always want to follow the steps. You always want to confirm the steps here. We know these are right. You don't want to go forward unless everything is checked. Now for the search for comps, you hit edit, right? And then you're going to start identifying properties you want to use. So we want to use single family. We want to include active sale, for sale, pending, under contract, or closed. And we specify it. We then talk about the characteristics, 5 bedrooms, so forth. The price range we want to use. And it's going to search for the comps for you. Go down to the lower section here. These are the comps that it pulled up. And you can see that these are closed and so forth. Now, once you have these, you want to say, well, here it says add to comp list. So we add this, and it's going to be included in our comp list right here. Okay, or you can remove it from the comps, whichever you like to do. And this is what's going to be used for the final CMA right here. You want to always update the valuation. Now we have that part done. Now, if we want to adjust the comps, because remember now, the comps are just basically via sales and based off a certain criteria. Now we're going to analyze each comp to the target property, and we're going to make adjustments to it. Like in this case here, this has 6 bedrooms. We know this is 5 bedrooms. So this comp is better than the target. So if we move this bar to better, it's going to decrease the sale price or decrease the value of this comp. So it gets it comparable to the target. And you do that for each one of the comps that were included in the analysis. So here, this has 1 bathroom. We have 2 bathrooms, so this comp is worse. So you add it plus, it's going to add $4,000 to it. So it looks at it that way to get, and once again, we know that comparables, you always want your comps to be comparable to the target through adjustments. And this is how we make the adjustments here. And then we always
Bill, question. Is there a reason why you didn't put the 5 bedrooms in the subject property?
forgot, to be honest.
Okay. It was a trick you're doing. Okay.
No, that was a boo-boo, as they say. So then you make adjustments here. I do want to go back to the comp section here, the search for comps. Let's just edit that. Now, let's say you've analyzed the sales in your town, you know the comps you want to use. What you do here is it says add known property. You click this button here, it's going to remove all the comps, okay? And you're going to add the comps that you selected by adding the address or the MLS listing number. That way, these comps will be used for the valuation of the property. So you would remove all of these here because we're not going to use these comps. You're going to insert your own comps. And you do that by adding the address or the MLS number. And once you do that, it's going to pull up the same data as we have here. So this is a nice feature as well. I tend to use the add known comps because then I'm kind of controlling what the outcome is going to be rather than the system telling me what it's going to be. And we update the valuation as always. We've adjusted it. Now we're going to review the CMA, and it's going to tell us that the recommended price is $725. It's going to provide a range for you to talk about. It gives us some additional information, and we save that. So now it's all done. We're then going to create a report, and here's all your drop downs. We're going to create a seller template, and we're going to have the address. Title is going to be seller. It's going to take a second to pull the information that we did. So what's going to come up here on the right-hand side is a summary of the package. So you're going to have your target house, your facts right here. It's going to go through property information, the market trends we just saw, and these are the trends for the area. The CMA is going to be, and these are the comps that we use. We'll show the comps, and this is your pricing strategy here. So this is the range. Here's your pricing strategy, refined value. You can talk about that, how you made the adjustments. And then this is just a disclaimer about the product. Now this is standard. This is just like an ad hoc report that's going to come out once you're selected. But if you go over to the left side here, you get to the first page. So if you can go to a drop down property information, and you can select which ones you want to include in the report and which ones you don't. So let's say you don't want to talk about internal features, you just take it out. If you want to add individual units, you can add it. A lot of these things you may not want to show your client because he knows the facts, he knows the features, the legal description. That'll just give the report a smaller number of pages that you can look through. But you can do this by going through each category. Like you may not want to show the maps, you may want to include the maps. If you include aerial, it'll show it the next time you run the report. Photographs, market trends, again, six of market trends we include in this report, but you have another 8 options that you can include yourself. You can include neighborhood trends if you want, how the housing's going, tells you the facts there. If you use all of these, it comes out to about an 82-page report. So I would suggest you run this and look at the screen, the pages, and then don't print anything to really, understand what it's going to look like. You can add school data, and we get to the pricing summary here. So you could add your pricing summary, keep that. You can do a lot of sellers aren't going to understand RVM and AVM, so you may not want to include that. If you include the CMA value, you'll see it popping up here when it repopulates the data. And then for the pricing strategy, I'm just picking a couple, but this is the page right here. If you don't want to include the refined value, you take it out. I'm just going to keep it like this. And then for the estimated equity, I'm going to move this bar. So you can do estimated equity as well as the seller's net sheet if you like. This is a manual entry, which you just work on yourself. And then this is a disclaimer about NRA and the RPR product. You can remove that. Now, once you have all that done, you always want to save. You want to save as a draft. Draft is saved. And then you want to download. It takes a few seconds for it to print the report. While it's printing the report, what's interesting about this product that NRA provides us is that we can do comps for addresses throughout the United States. So if you have a client who says, I'm going to move to Michigan in Lake Odessa area, this is the house I'm looking at, you can run a CMA based off of this report. So data should be there for all the states. Now, once we downloaded it, we have we have the report here. You have all your picture and your details. It gives you the whole summary of what we cleaned up and saw. And once you get all this, all your trends are here. This is the neighborhood facts for North Brunswick, for Middlesex County, for New Jersey, and for the country. So you can give your client some idea to talk about that. And then this is Omaha Road, where I live. So it gives you a lot of information. Again, we selected these slides based off of going through the page by page. If you want to do educational, because we included that, it'll tell you number of people that have associate's degrees versus bachelor's degrees. It's all pulling from public information. It gives you some children, some age groups. Again, this one's very detailed. You may not want to show all this to your client when you're talking to them. Then market activity, it'll show you what's for sale based off of this legend over here. So you get a good selection there. Talk about that was the CMA value, and these are the comps that we had. Again, you can move these pages around, add more, take some away. So remember we had removed that one section, refined value. And so when you're talking to your client, you can tell them your listing price range is going to be this here based off of my analysis. This should be the target, but this is going to be the range, and that's going to be the report. And they would just save this, and it comes across as a PDF file, which you can then share to your client.
Hey,
Share
Bill,
it.
we have a question. It says, how do you
Sorry.
get to that initial screen with the boxes? My RPR is not showing that page. I have AI scriptwriter showing, but not that page. Mark, do you want to unmute and scan the screen with the
So say that again about the question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, when you went to that initial screen, you had these boxes that
Oh,
came up,
that was
and
the right. Okay. So we go to market trends. On the
right,
right-hand side, it says AI scriptwriter.
yeah. So I got AI script. My screen looks different.
Oh, um, mine
Yeah,
looks, yeah, this comes up for me. This is how my screen looks. I'm
I'm
not
I'm
sure.
not getting that page.
Oh, do,
Mark,
do you have,
if you're
do-
using an iPad to do this, it may look a little different. It may not be friendly with iPads, just an FYI. It may just be a desktop version, but I could be wrong.
Well, I've got
On this,
my I've got my PC open. I've got RPR on. I mean, is it? Did you go to RPR a different way? I mean, I
uh,
went directly to RPR and logged in.
no, no, same way, the same way. I'm not sure why you wouldn't have that. We'd
Huh.
have to look into that. Yeah, we'd have to make
Okay.
a call to the help desk, but it should be under market trends, and then on the right-hand side, AI scriptwriter.
Also,
Okay.
Bill, I get a lot of questions about agents not knowing how to like log in. What's the information that you need if you're first never been on this site?
Well, if you go to www.nar,
Mhm.
you can
Yeah.
click on that. You can search through it, and it'll pop up. See, mine's already coded. Let me get to a browser.
You will need your NERDS number, is that correct? When you first log in or
that is
You,
correct.
yes. Yeah.
I get a lot of agents asking me that, so
Yeah.
Oh,
You just type in, you also just type in realtor, see the letters, property, resources, drop down box. It'll come up here. Welcome to the, and it pops right into it. So you can search it. If you just type out realtor, property, resources, it'll then come up to a drop down where you can just click on it and get the NRA. Here's the website right here. You can see it, narrpr.com. And I'll pop you right into the program.
great. Anybody else have any questions?
I think it's a very good tool to use. I think you have to kind of use it and just kind of maneuver around with it first just to get comfortable with the different options you have. But I found it to be very helpful when I'm in listing presentations.
I did have an agent ask me like, down where you guys are like, why don't we don't have access to, that MLS? And I remembered your training and I was like, let me just go into the RPR system. And
Yeah.
I was able to pull a very good CMA for her, totally in an area that we both were not familiar with. So thank you for that. I
Yeah,
think
this is
Bobby
this is
had a question too.
So when you're putting in your own comps, which is pretty much the same way I like to do it too. So I'm glad to hear that somebody else does it the same way I do it. But when you're putting in more than one property, do you have to put them in individually, or can you put ML number 1234, comma, ML number 5678, if you know what I'm saying.
Great
I do.
question.
Yeah, the answer is you have to put them in separately.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Thank you.
Anytime. Well, I hope that was helpful.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Anytime.
Thank you,
Right.
Bill. That was great.
Thank you,
See you guys
Marilyn.
next week.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Bye.
Bill.
Have a
Bye.
nice day. Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
You too.